Hi guys, Mrs. Johnson here. Hopefully you had a great summer and practiced eating healthy and making healthy choices. I hope you spent a lot of time outside exercising and getting fresh air. Today we're going to be talking more about my plate and how foods on my plate can help us from getting sicknesses and illnesses. Today we're going to begin with a fun experiment to show you how my plate foods keep us healthy and well throughout the year. Not only is my plate food important for us to eat so our body can grow and develop strong and properly, it also helps us from getting sicknesses and illnesses. Pretend with me that this bowl of water is your classroom, or your family room, or kitchen, or grocery store, or somewhere you go that a lot of other people go. Objects all harbor germs. Pretend with me that these are germs. Germs are everywhere. They're on tables, they're on chairs, they're on blankets and pencils and pens and bowls. Germs are everywhere. Germs are what get our bodies sick, and we want to try to avoid them as much as we can to prevent getting sicknesses. See that? A room full of germs. Now, what happens if you come into this room? Maybe you touch a pencil or a chair or a desk or a package or anything in the room. When you touch this, what happens? You become covered in germs, right? All over your body. Now it's important that you would wash your hands, sanitize, and get those germs off of you. But what if you were eating all of your My Plate friendly foods? Maybe you're eating your vegetables and fruits. These are great ways to get vitamins to help your body to prevent yourself from getting these sicknesses and germs. So let's take this little guy, and has been eating all of his My Plate foods. What happens when he goes in the room with lots of germs? Did you see that? The germs left him. Who's more likely to get sick now? Our germy guy or our guy who is eating his My Plate foods? Let's talk about how to do this experiment, and you can try it at home and show your family. For this experiment, you'll only need a few supplies that are likely already in your home. You'll need a dish with water, you'll need dish soap, and germs or black pepper, and Q-tips or even your fingertips would work. To start, you'll fill your jar with water and sprinkle in the pepper. Like so. Once your jar is filled with pepper or germs, you can begin the next trick. Take your fingertip or a Q-tip and dip it in the water. You'll see the pepper quickly coats your fingertip or Q-tip. But when we apply dish soap, like this, and dip, the pepper quickly spreads. This soap breaks up the surface tension of the water. Water molecules want to stay together. Soap and cleaners break that surface tension, which makes them a great way to clean, disinfect, and degrease. Try this experiment at your home and show your family how My Plate foods can protect them from germs and sicknesses. Now that we saw how healthy and important it is to eat healthy foods, not only for growing and developing, but also from protecting our bodies from sicknesses and illnesses, even some types of diseases can be prevented by simply eating healthy. Now we know My Plate foods help our body to grow and be strong, but why and how much should we be eating? Remember, My Plate is a tool to help us to eat healthy foods and to think about the choices we make when we're eating. Now, just because a food is a healthy food does not mean we can eat as much as we want. We know that healthy food is good for us, but too much of any food is not good for us. When we look at My Plate, we can see the plate is sectioned off into different proportions. Now, plates can be different sizes. We can have big plates or small plates, so just dividing the plates isn't always accurate. One way we can think about this is by portions and sizing, which we'll talk about a little later in our lesson. But first, let's draw some attention to half of our plate. we can see fruits and vegetables take up half of our plate. And this really can be any size of plate. Trying to make half of our meal fruits and vegetables can ward off sicknesses and protect our bodies because they are filled with vitamins. Remember, different colors of fruits and vegetables contain different vitamins. I have a fun tray of objects with me. Maybe you've already noticed. Each of these represents a part of our body, and a specific vitamin helps to make them grow, be strong, and healthy. Now, fruits and vegetables contain a vast majority of our vitamins, but other food groups also contain some of these vitamins, which is why eating My Plate friendly foods and filling our plates with a variety of foods can impact our bodies the very best and give us the nutrients that we need to be successful and develop properly. Each of these objects represents one of the vitamins that comes from one of these My Plate food groups. Let's see if you can help me guess which group they go with. First, let's start with the eyeball. Maybe you've noticed this on my tray. This eyeball makes our eyes healthy and strong. Why might you want healthy eyes? Well, to see, that's an important thing. Eyes adjusting in the dark. There are many reasons that eyeball health is an important thing, an important part of our diet. Can you guess which food group would impact our eyes? Vitamin A impacts our eyes. You can see this picture I've made with the vitamin A symbol. We have an eyeball in the center to remind us vitamin A gives us eye health. I also have different foods that are listed that provide our bodies with vitamin A. If you'll notice, I have lots of fruits and vegetables. There are carrots, kale, spinach, cantaloupe, apricots. Many different kinds of fruits and vegetables give our body vitamin A. Now, if you're not eating vitamin A, you're not eating your fruits and vegetables, can your eyes get healthy from different food groups? Not necessarily. Some foods are fortified with vitamins, which means vitamins are added into them. But to get vitamin A the natural way, fruits and vegetables are the way to go. Let's see what other things we have on this tray. I have some teeth. Any guesses? Where can we get foods that make our teeth strong and healthy? If you guessed dairy, you are correct. Vitamin D is found in dairy. An easy way to remember this, vitamin D, dairy. That's a great way to remember it. Vitamin D helps our teeth and also our bones to be strong and healthy. They help them to be strong and develop properly. They also prevent diseases like osteoporosis from developing, which we'll talk about in future lessons. Notice the foods I have listed for vitamin D. There's cheese, eggs, milk, sunshine. We'll talk about this also. Yogurt, salmon, and orange juice. Vitamin D is a very healthy vitamin that our body needs, and it can get from food. How simple is that? Our next thing on my plate is some Band-Aids. Any guesses with this one? Vitamin C helps our bodies to grow and develop properly and to heal wounds and sicknesses. Also another fruit and vegetables, of course. Vitamin C can be found in many fruits and vegetables. From citrus foods like grapes and kiwis, oranges, even bell peppers and broccoli. Vitamin C is in a lot of fruits and vegetables, and it's so important, especially in the months when lots of sicknesses are coming, and to protect our bodies from developing these sicknesses. Up next, we have a comb and some nail clippers. Any guesses what this would be representing? Obviously, our hair and our nails. Did you know eating healthy can make your hair and your nails healthier? Of course it can. The protein group gives our hair and our nails amino acids to grow and be strong and healthy. We talked a little bit about this last year. Amino acids are the building blocks to life. These building blocks to life can be found in protein foods like meat and seeds and nuts, and there's many different types of foods that fit in these categories. Protein food is so important for muscle development, hair development, and even your fingernails to be strong and healthy. Another food on my plate that helps our body to be strong and healthy. And no other groups contain these important components that protein offers our bodies. All right, you have 2 things left. Let's start with our heart. What foods do you think makes our heart healthy and strong? I'll give you a clue. Vitamin E. Vitamin E provides heart health, and this can come from olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds. Interesting components here. Lots of important foods give our bodies vitamin E, and vitamin E makes our heart to beat healthy and strong. That's a very important part of our bodies that we should be taking good care of. So looking for foods like these that can be found in, you guessed it, vegetables and protein foods can provide our body with an important vitamin that we cannot get anywhere else. Last but not least, I'm sure you're wondering what's in this vial. Blood. How does our blood need to be healthy? Our blood clots. Too much clotting is not good. Too little clotting, also not good. How can we make our blood healthy? You guessed it, another vitamin. Vitamin K. Vitamin K helps our blood to clot properly. We can find vitamin K in Brussels sprouts, mustard greens, kale, Swiss chard, cauliflower, spinach, cucumbers, asparagus. Maybe you're noticing a pattern of colors here. Lots of green, lots of vitamin K. Question, do you think lighter green or darker green vegetables have more vitamin K? Darker green, of course. Not only do these dark green vegetables provide us with vitamin K, they also provide us with many other vitamins. If you've ever heard the term superfood, these foods are in that category. Superfoods are foods with lots of vitamins, lots of minerals, and lots of nutrients. These foods are so important for our bodies because they give us a little of everything. Vitamin K, blood health, so important for our bodies. It's very important that we have each of these foods that come from these food groups. Remember, no food can do the other food's job. Like a car we talked about many years ago. A car needs several things to function properly. It needs gas, oil, air in the tires, and each of these jobs do their own specific job. They cannot substitute one another's job. Same for my plate food groups. Each of these foods does an important specific job for our bodies that the other cannot substitute. You should be trying to eat dairy, grains, protein, fruits, and vegetables for each of your meals so that you're developing as much nutrients as you can for your body to grow, be healthy, and strong, to prevent illnesses, sicknesses, and grow and be strong and healthy. Let's talk a little bit more about these groups. Like we talked about earlier, My Plate is a great way that we can separate our foods and imagine different types of foods in each of our meals. Now, different plates can look very differently. Maybe your home has large plates like this, or maybe you eat with small plates or medium-sized plates. How can you divide this plate into 4 quadrants and still get the same amount? That's kind of a tricky thing to think about. In the past, we've talked about some hand gestures that can remind us of how much of these foods we should be consuming at each meal. Portion sizing and getting the proper amount of different food groups is something we should start working on while we're young. Eating too much of a healthy food is not good for you, just like eating too much junk food and food that does not provide us with nutrients. Too much of any food is not good for our bodies. Let's talk first about Let's start at the corner with dairy foods. Anyone remember how much dairy you should have in one day? The answer is 3. 3 cups of dairy foods in one day is what our body needs to grow and develop properly. These 3 small cups of dairy foods provide our teeth and our bones with vitamin D so they can grow and form properly. Remember our symbol for 3 cups? Curve your fingers just like an ice cream scoop. Now remember, ice cream does belong in the dairy group, but it contains a lot of sugar. So we should not be eating too much ice cream. There's a lot of better foods we can be choosing to get our dairy vitamin D. 3 cups of dairy a day, that's our goal. How about grains? Anyone remember this symbol? Your clue is bread and butter. Start by placing your 5 fingers together like a piece of bread, and your finger can be the knife, either spreading jam, jelly, maybe honey on your toast. 6 ounces of grain a day. Now, ounces is kind of a hard thing to imagine unless you carry a scale in your backpack to take to lunch. That obviously does not happen. We will talk more about these portion sizes when we talk about these specific food groups in the next couple of months. How about protein? Your clue is a fish. Start by placing your 4 fingers together, your thumb extended, and you have a little fish. 5 ounces of protein food is ideal for your body to grow and be healthy. A good way to imagine 3 ounces, which is about half of your daily serving, is about the size of a deck of cards. If you can imagine the size of a deck of cards, try to have your steak, salmon, chicken, or turkey look like a deck of cards on your plate. And then you're more than halfway there to your protein need for the day. Up next, the vegetable group. I told you this story a few years ago, but let's do it again for a quick reminder. When I was a little girl, my dad would grow a big garden in our backyard. One of my favorite things he would grow was carrots. We could go out and we could pick them anytime we wanted. One time I pulled a carrot out of the ground, and honestly, it had 3 stems that came off the edge of it. If you've ever grown carrots in a garden, you might notice that carrots don't always grow straight and perfect. They're unique and different, just like each of us. How I remember 3 cups of vegetables a day is thinking of my 3-fingered carrot. I stick it in the ground and pull it out. 3 cups of vegetables a day. Now, vegetables, again, are so important. Maybe having a few extra wouldn't hurt, but remember, too much is still not good for our bodies. And last but not least, the fruit group. Any memory of what this could be? Your clue is picking grapes. Start with your pointer finger and your thumb. Pretend you're picking grapes off of a vine. Grapes are another thing that my dad grew in my garden when I was younger. Picking grapes, 1.5 finger. 1.5 to 2 cups of fruit a day is ideal for your body to get the nutrients that fruit gives our bodies. Remember, we talked about vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, so many vitamins from the fruit and vegetable section of my plate. Really try to get half of your plate to be fruits and vegetables. This is so important for your bodies to be strong, healthy, develop, and prevent yourself from getting sicknesses and illness like our experiment at the beginning of this class. Next, let's start by making a fun, easy snack that you can make at home with your families. Now, anyone can practice eating healthy, but starting the habit while you're young is very important to keep your body strong, healthy, developing properly, and a healthy body weight as you grow. Try making this snack at home with your family and help a habit start with a 4th grader like you can change a whole family's eating habits and healthy bodies. Today we're going to be making a My Plate approved snack. These are called My Plate Stackers. They're similar to Lunchables if you've had those before. We will use all 5 food groups today. Our first dairy group will use cheese, and you can use any cheese you have around the house. Next we'll use a vegetable, and today I have spinach and cucumbers, but you can use any type of vegetables here. You could use tomatoes, you could use thinly sliced carrots, you could use lettuce, really anything would work here. For our protein, we'll be using meat. I have ham and turkey today, and you can use any kind, again, you have around the house. Another option you could use, thinly cracked nuts. You could even use peanut butter or almond butter. You really can be as creative as you'd like to be. For our fruit, we're gonna be using grapes, and I'm just doing this off to the side, but you could be creative and use fruit into your mixture. Really, the possibilities are endless. For our grain today, we're gonna be using crackers. I brought 2 crackers with me today, and I'll be using these weavable baked wheat crackers. Now the crackers I brought with me are made of whole grain. And remember, we can see whole grain by looking on the back at the ingredients. If the first ingredient says whole grain or whole wheat, you know that you've chosen a good cracker. All crackers will work. You could even try bread here or tortillas. Really, the possibilities are endless. I'm gonna start today with 2 crackers on my plate. And we'll start stacking our stackers. I have cheese here, and I have this Colby Jack cheese, but cheddar's another really good one, or Swiss cheese. Remember in our dairy lesson last year, we tried lots of different cheeses, so maybe you can be creative. Next, I'm going to pick a vegetable. I have cucumbers and I have spinach. I'm going to choose cucumbers today. I could even do both, I guess, if I was feeling really healthy. My cucumbers, I'm gonna slice in really, really thin slices. You don't want too thick of a piece of cucumber or vegetable. Tomatoes, again, you could slice thinly. You could also use carrots. Really, anything you want, slice them really thinly. And then I'm going to choose, let's do turkey today. You can buy these thin packages of lunch meat at the store. They're really inexpensive, less than $1 for a whole package. So I'll take out 1 piece and I'll fold it into 4 pieces to fit nicely on my cracker. Just like that. And then a handful of grapes to go on the side. Maybe. All right, and again, you can do any type of fruit here. A thin slice of orange wedge would give this a lot of taste if you wanted to try that on your stacker. All right, and then you eat. Simple enough. All 5 of our food groups on this plate. This is a great snack you can make after school when you're hungry. You could also take this and make it in your lunch for school. There's so many ways that you can make this work and make it so flavorful. Try this at home with your families. Practice eating healthy. We'll do a healthy exercise and then we'll be done for the day. Up next, you'll be playing a fun activity outside with the PE teacher. This activity includes Uno cards. I'm sure you're very familiar with Uno cards. Have you ever thought of using face cards or Uno cards to do activities or exercise? Well, today you'll be playing a game with these Uno cards. Each color has an activity that corresponds with it. Yellow is jumping jacks, green, squats, red, 30-second plank, blue, push-ups, and action cards like draw 2, wild cards is 10 of your favorite choice exercise moves. We'll start in a big circle as a group. The PE teacher will draw a card. Whatever she chooses, you will do the corresponding activity. When you finish, you'll run around the track, come back, and draw your next card. Good luck and have fun. Goodbye.